your favorite game is not the same anymore. And that's okay. All good things must come to an end, and if you play modern multiplayer games, you'll understand that it sometimes looks like the glory days are over. The peak has ended, and the vision that your game once had has completely faded. In my Fortnite video essay, almost a year ago now, man, I really need to upload more, I stated that Fortnite OG was a genius move by the developers, Epic Games. However,
I was capping. I was lying.
This seemed to be very true at the moment, but my opinions on this matter, and I assume a lot of other people's opinions, have changed upon this quicker than Jake Paul would challenge Jimmy Carter to a boxing match. I mean, look at him, he's in his prime. And to an extent, it was a genius marketing move, and it was a win for the entire games community. The moments of reliving a nostalgic and almost perfect era in gaming was beautiful to say the very least, and it created so much buzz around it, even breaking the player count record in all of Fortnite's history. And a lot of people will pin this on one thing: nostalgia, because it's a driving factor that brings heaps of players in. And of course, the more players you have, the more money you'll make. And where there's money to be made, there's money-hungry companies ready to abandon all creativity and originality for a quick buck. Hi, I'm Blurry Chicken. I make video essays / documentaries. Sometimes I'm more absent on YouTube than my non-existent mother is in my life. And this is why video games should stop going OG. Let's begin. I stated that nostalgia is a main driving point, at least in Fortnite's case. It was like ever since Chapter 1 ended, all we wanted to do was go back, almost as much as Donald Trump wanted to get back into the White House. The only difference is that the Fortnite community didn't storm the Capitol. Yet. They better not mess this up. Come on, man, really? I mean, this is low even for Fortnite. It's just another ad. Bruh, Ice Spike? Alright, never mind, maybe this is a little bit better. But the real question is, why was nostalgia so huge from the start? The game, from an outsider standpoint, had fundamentally not really changed. And if anything, it seemed like it was improving at first. When a game is so young, there shouldn't be any concrete reasons as to why the majority of the community wants to go back. It really begs the questioning of the root cause being purely nostalgia. As online games try to stay alive, they innovate and improvise for the sole reason of not falling off like Blurry Chicken and his view count. Seriously, I really need more views, and there's a constant need to change. But with this, there's bound to be multiple things that get left behind in the process. Fortnite and many other multiplayer games had the constant background of everlasting change. The changes they made were for their survival in the industry, but came at the cost of moving away from their original vision of the experience. And man, did this game change. Yeah, now we have Stephen Hawking 1v1s on Fortnite. I'm not saying this game has turned completely horrible, but when you go from a vibe like this to a vibe like this, yeah, something's really not adding up. And sure, maybe the skill gap in these multiplayer games could be an issue as to why everyone wants to go back to how it was before. It's really the fuel to the flame that these companies make that continues to push the games in the complete opposite direction that the community really wants. This video isn't just about Fortnite, it's about the entire gaming industry. And well, I'm gonna have to talk about it, not because I want this video to get views and money, but this was the best performing topic on my channel, so please, YouTube guys, just give me a chance again. I really don't like falling off. Apex Legends. Man, has it been a minute. I really forgot this game existed, and I assume a lot of other people did too. Apex may be a bit older than a few of you, so I don't know. My advice to you guys are like, beware of Mr. Drizzy Drake. I really don't know, man. Looking at this game now, it seems like I may have been right in this video. Despite the player count, whether it's high or whether it's low, no matter what they do, they don't fix core issues. At least from my outsider perspective, I haven't touched this game in months. And I think one of the main reasons why this thing is still alive is because the community is still holding on to some hope that it could be saved. Or maybe you spent too much money on it to quit. I mean, have you seen these prices? Seriously, who's buying this? And out of the blue, Apex decided to go OG for a bit. Very briefly, sure, but it just comes off as lousy, and EA is just trying to milk the game's player base even more than we thought possible. The math in this doesn't really add up. When you have a game that has so many fundamental issues that need to be fixed, why would you turn back time instead of flipping the page and actually progressing towards something that would make it a better game? I love the feeling of original Apex, don't get me wrong. I've had some of my best gaming memories with my friend Jonathan back in lockdown on this game, and half of it may have been spent looking at Loba skins and getting carried, but still, I very much loved the original feeling of Apex. But when I saw the OG mode get announced, I couldn't even bother to hop on the game. None of my friends really wanted to play it either. It truly just came across as another massive FU to the community, because if you truly can't fix your game, you know what would have been better than an OG mode? Titanfall 3. Go back to your roots, make another Titanfall game, please. But they can't even bother to do that. As much hope as I'd love to have for them making that game, it's just pointless. The companies, sadly, including Respawn now, have just kind of lost that thing that made them special. And while you could argue,
Blurry Chicken, are you stupid? Apex went OG in Season 9 with a Genesis event, so technically Fortnite copied hate them. And EA can have my money because I love them so much. And I have an EA shrine on my bedroom wall, and I'll give them all my money because I have a key to my heart. I love you, EA. All Blurry Chicken does is complain. EA good, Blurry Chicken bad.
Why am I making up this fake scenario? Are views really that low? Well, yeah, Apex did technically do an OG event first back in 2021. I just wanted to show an example of how OG is becoming a trend because of the steps of the wrong direction. Apex in Season 9 did have issues, for sure, but it wasn't as bad as it's gotten in recent times. I've quit the game because of this, and I assume a lot of others have quit too, so it does, in my opinion, look like it's really just EA trying to use nostalgia to gain their money-spending consumers back. Also, you clicked on what was pretty obviously a bit of a rant in the OG issue, so, I mean, at least you didn't get clickbaited. Alright, Apex rant done. Let's get back onto the main topic. OG in games has another fundamental issue, and it's to do with FOMO. The fear of missing out is a tactic that is used everywhere, and the gaming industry is no exception. One of the main reasons why this trend is becoming more and more popular is because of the fear of missing out. With Fortnite OG, part of the reason why it was so successful is because of the 30-day time span of the event. The fear of missing out created not just a drive from the active community to not miss out, but also grabbing the attention from the players who already abandoned the game before. As a game company, this makes sense, but with the OG mode and what seems to be a trend now, Fortnite kind of gave us the short end of the stick. What seemed to be a return to normalcy after such a long time ended up transforming into some of the worst seasons in Fortnite history. While everyone loved the original feeling and missed it for years, over all that time we strayed further and further from our desires. I didn't really play Chapter 4, but in researching this video, it seemed to be one of the weaker chapters, at least compared to the previous ones, so it made sense to go all the way back to see firsthand what works. And the reason why I stated that Fortnite gave us the short end of the stick is due to how far they fumbled the bag shortly after this hope that they gave us. Chapter 5 Season 1 seemed like a fresh start. It changed the game a lot, but after Fortnite OG, I was hooked, so I gave it a shot. Then about 3 weeks later, none of my friends were playing, including myself. I went straight back to a game that really felt like home, a game that I can always rely on with or without friends. A game that's basically perfect. A game so beautiful, it can make a grown man cry. Why is Minecraft such an amazing game, and what makes it immortal?
Wait, stop. Wrong video essay, idiot. Yeah, that video flopped, you dummy.
Oh wait, yeah, wrong video essay, my bad. But actually, that's a good point. Although people have said Minecraft doesn't feel the same anymore, like a bajillion times, and again, from an outsider standpoint, nothing actually changed enough for it to feel too different. There's actually a reason for people saying that. As corny as it is, and as much as I'd hate to say it, it actually really makes sense in this case. And that is, you don't miss it because it's changed, you miss it because you got older. Alright, please don't dislike the video, let me prove my point, alright? Just let me explain, please. When you're younger, you obviously have a lot of less responsibilities, and that's not the point I'm trying to make, because that's been played out so many times. The point that I'm trying to make, you don't realize you're living in the quote-unquote good times until you start noticing changes, and that's part of the reason why Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2 was brought back instead of an actual OG season again. Not because it feels OG, but because a lot of people's lives, except for the ones who were getting eliminated IRL, were a lot simpler back then. A lot of people had nothing to do, and that led to a lot of people hopping on video games. And people look back at that season very fondly, not just because the game was in a pretty good state, but because their lives felt a lot simpler at the time, having nothing to do except watch TikTok and play Fortnite. And the changes not only come from inside the game, but the nature of life. People, including yourself, are always evolving through life, progressing even, and moving forwards, not backwards. And that's the main issue with this OG trend. Instead of moving forward in an appealing direction, the OG mode, while fun, it should be a wake-up call to maybe fix some of these things that the community really wants out of a game. This video was supposed to be a massive trash talk on games that are just following the OG trend for money, but as of writing the script, I realized that there's an underlying issue beneath this. Not just because it's a trend in the industry right now, but because a lot of games end up moving in the wrong direction and struggle to keep their community happy, such as Apex. I know that Roblox did this trend for some reason. I know that Call of Duty will be returning to their OG map soon, and Overwatch will have an OG mode as well. I'm not much of an Overwatch fan, nor do I play Overwatch, obviously.
Oh, I died. I got blown.
And I'm horrible at that game, but I've heard some things from the community, and it's obvious that this OG trend isn't really going to be as beneficial as these game companies think that it'll be. If mass of the community really wants to go back, not just because of nostalgia, you should probably find a better vision for your game, rather than straying away from what the player base actually wants. You wouldn't really need an OG mode if your game didn't feel so different than how it used to. your favorite game has changed. And that's alright, as long as they start moving towards the right direction one day, instead of using the OG trend as a temporary fix. I love Fortnite OG, I love the original feeling of Apex, I love the original feeling of Roblox, and I do love the original feeling of Minecraft. I do love OG in a sense. I just feel like it's becoming a trend for a temporary fix to these problems. So, Gear Games, please stop going OG. I'm Blurry Chicken, and thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to help me get to 2K subs soon. If you enjoyed, I got some more video essays on my channel, so you should click on them if you want, and I'll see you the next time I upload, whenever that is.